All right, guys, we hit pretty much every muscle in our upper body. That workout really is not going to take more than about 30 minutes. I'm Mark McKillier with Live Anabolic, and today I put together a complete upper body workout. Now, guys, before we get into it, I want to just address all of us older guys, all right? Guys that are over 50, over 60, over 70 watching right now. And please, you have to resistance train. You have to lift weights as you get older. I personally think it's far more important to lift weights as we get older versus when we were in our 20s and 30s. It's because our bodies naturally lose muscle as we get older. And you have to be proactive, okay? You can't just go out there and do some light cardio, a couple of times a week and then call it good and think you're exercising. That ain't gonna work, guys. So you gotta lift weights, all right? I recommend you lift at least 3 days a week, all right? And then secondly, I also recommend you get and follow a professionally designed total workout program, okay? Today's workout is just an individual upper body workout. It's not a full workout program per se, okay? So I'm gonna show you 5 great exercises that are basically gonna hit every single muscle in our upper body. Guys, lifting weights as we get older isn't just about vanity. It's not just about building muscle, okay? It's about bone density. It's about preventing, falls and breaks as we get older. I mean, there's just no reason for people as we get older to fall over just a little crack in the sidewalk and break your hip, for goodness sakes, all right? You're not falling off a ladder or off a roof, all right? So if you're lifting weights, you're gonna prevent a ton of injuries as you get older, all right? You don't wanna be some feeble 80-year-old who can't get in and out of a car, can't put your socks on, by yourself. You need to kind of plan ahead, and lifting weights is the best way to do it. Okay, I'm just gonna step you through all 5 exercises in the order I want you to do them. And today, we're not really doing a cardio style workout. This is more about building muscle. So we're gonna do a single exercise, all right? I'm gonna hit it for 8 to 10 reps. Then I'm gonna rest, catch my breath for about a minute. Then I'm gonna do it again. I want you to do 3 sets on every exercise. So you do exercise 1 for 3 sets, then you move to exercise 2 for 3 sets, and et cetera, all right? So it's not about getting out of breath. It's not about getting your heart rate way up there, all right? It's about stressing the muscles, because what we're doing when we lift weights, when you do them the correct way with intensity, okay, you're actually damaging your muscle fibers. And then over the course of the next few days, as your body repairs those muscle fibers, they actually get a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. And hence, that's how you actually build muscle. You break them down and build them back up over and over and over. So exercise number 1 is gonna focus on our chest. I'm doing an incline press here. If you don't have a bench, you can do this on the ground too. You can do a flat press, but I prefer a slight incline when I'm doing chest, because it distributes the weight more on your upper pecs, all right? Your lower pecs are almost always way more developed than your upper pecs, and so I focus a little bit more on my upper pecs. Now, saying that doesn't mean this exercise doesn't work your lower pecs, okay? We're still getting all the muscles in our chest. We're just emphasizing the upper part of our chest a little bit. Okay, so guys, I'm using a much lighter weight than I would if I was doing a real workout. All right, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Now, some of y'all will have enough weight at home. You'll have heavy enough dumbbells that you can pick a weight that's really difficult to do for that 8 to 10 rep range, all right? I want you to be close to failure when you get to reps number 8, 9, and 10, okay? You don't have to be at failure, but you need to only have 1 or 2 reps in reserve. Now, if you don't have heavy enough dumbbells at home to do that, you're gonna need to really slow down the tempo with each rep, all right? Because that will increase the time under tension and just make the weight feel a lot heavier than it really is. So do a set of this. You can take the weights down. You can walk around for about a minute, maybe 90 seconds max if you really were doing it intense. And then you need to do 2 more sets. All right, let's move on to exercise number 2. We're gonna hit our rear delt. So when we're doing those chest presses a minute ago, we're not just getting our chest, you're also working the front part of your shoulders, okay? Now we're gonna focus on the rear part of our shoulders, and this is also gonna engage some of the big muscles in our upper back. This is a great exercise, but guys, if you're doing it with good form, you cannot lift much weight, all right? Most of you guys are gonna only be doing 5 to 10 pounds, maybe 15 pounds max, all right? It's just that kind of an exercise, but I really like this. All right, here's the form. You're gonna bend over, stare at the ground, okay? Let the dumbbells just kind of hang straight down below your shoulders with my palms facing backwards, okay? And I'm just gonna raise my arms up and then slowly control the weight back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. All right. A couple of things I want to talk about real quick here with the form. And that is, hopefully you noticed my tempo and how I was raising the weight and lowering the weight, all right? That's different than swinging the weight up and letting it fall back down, okay? This is one of those exercises where it's really easy to cheat without even thinking about it, without knowing you're cheating. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you're not careful, you'll kind of do this. You'll yank the weights up, and then you'll just use the momentum, okay? You'll use the momentum that you get at the bottom part of the movement, and that will continue to lift the weights up. And I'm using my back, and I'm swaying and things like that, and then I'm not letting the weight, I'm not controlling the weight on the downward part of the movement, okay? The eccentric part. You gotta feel those muscles burn as you're lowering those dumbbells back down. And one last thing that I think will help you guys is your hand placement. So I like to do them with my palms facing back, and as I lift the weights up, see how my pinky is at the top? I don't rotate my hands like this, all right? The dumbbells are pointing up and down. They're not pointing horizontal, all right? It's not that one way is right and one way is incorrect, okay? It's that when your pinkies are pointed up and your palms are facing backwards when you're holding the weights, you'll tend to emphasize the rear part of your shoulder a little bit more. And of course, that's what our goal is. Okay, so let's move on to exercise number 3, and we're gonna be targeting our biceps. Just putting a little bit of a spin on this particular exercise. See how I have my seat back reclined like this, all right? It's just gonna put a little bit more stretch in our bicep muscles when we do these curls. And try it, guys, and see what you think. Now, you won't be able to use quite as much weight as you normally would as if you were doing a seated bicep curl where your back is straight up and down. But when you're leaning back like this, all right, see how stretched my biceps are at the bottom of the movement here, all right? And you're just gonna control the weight all the way up and all the way down. So this is a lighter weight than I would be using if I was standing up and doing curls, or even just sitting straight up and down. But you get a lot of stretch in your bicep at the bottom part of the motion, and it really feels good, guys. So 8 to 10 reps. And once again, you gotta pick a weight it's difficult to do. You know, you need to be getting close to failure, you know, around 8, 9, okay? And then if you get to 10, that ought to be really, really tough, all right? And so it's okay if you picked a weight that was too light or too heavy for the first set, okay? Doesn't matter, you don't have to stop. Just finish that set up and then make adjustments for the second and third set. So if you were going a little too heavy, all right, no problem. You might have only gotten 4 or 5 reps. You're done with set 1. Then lower the weight a little bit for sets 2 and 3. All right, 4th exercise has us down on the ground. And guys, we're going to be doing the dreaded planks. We're going to be working on our core. Now, these are called elbow planks. But because we're doing 3 sets, I'm going to mix it up on you a little bit. So the first set, I want you to do face down, just on your elbows, nice straight torso here, all right? And then do it for 30 seconds, okay? Now, some of you guys that are carrying a little extra weight, you might not be able to make it to 30. That's okay. Just get to 10, 15, 20 seconds. Good enough, all right? Then when you get to the allotted time, stop and rest. All right, that's 1 set, right? Now, set number 2, I want you to do it an elbow plank on your left side. All right, once again, try to get 30 seconds. If you don't get there, that's okay. All right, just do what you can. Stop, rest for about a minute, then finish up your 3rd and final set with an elbow plank on your right side. Try to hold that for 30 seconds. All right, you're gonna start shaking a little bit, all right, especially since you've already done a lot of other sets, all right, of other muscle groups. No biggie. Just do what you can. And that is exercise number 4. 1 to go. Okay, so the 5th and final exercise, we're going to be targeting our triceps. And these are just seated overhead tricep extensions. You only need 1 dumbbell, guys. So you're going to have to experiment and figure out, what's the correct weight for you, where it puts you kind of near failure at the 8 to 10 rep range. That's okay. Experiment, but especially for you guys that are pretty strong where you're using a heavy dumbbell, you don't have to go straight from your thigh all the way up to here. This is a great way to get the dumbbell up and down. So you go 2 hands and you just rock it up to your shoulder. It's real easy to balance here. It doesn't take hardly any energy, okay? Then I'm gonna grasp the flange like this with my hands, all right, behind my head, and I'm gonna pick a point on the wall in front of me and just basically stare at it. Go down as far as you can. I know the flange is gonna hit you in the back of the neck or your back. Just kind of push it further away from you, and you'll get a feel for it. 8 to 10 reps. And then guys, I want to show you a trick at the end of your set, especially for you guys that are pushing it hard and your triceps are starting to burn, you're getting that lactic acid, and you're like, oh my God, how am I gonna get this dumbbell down without dropping it? Okay, 1 last one, go up and then straight to your shoulder. Oh, no problem. No matter how tired you are, you can go to here and then re-grip it with 2 hands and then down to here or your thigh and then to the ground. So great exercise for your triceps. Once again, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. All right, guys, we hit pretty much every muscle in our upper body. That workout really is not going to take more than about 30 minutes, okay? If you kind of move from one to the next and don't rest more than about a minute in between sets, it's a pretty quick way to get basically a fantastic upper body workout. But guys, going back to the beginning of this video, this workout is not a comprehensive workout program. It's just a 1-day workout, okay? I recommend you look at some of our workout programs. I don't care, you gotta follow something that's professionally designed, especially for us older guys, all right? Don't try to just come up with your own plan, okay? But when you're in a pinch and you wanna do just an upper body workout, today's will really get you an incredible pump. And then remember, guys, you gotta stick with it and never give up on yourself.